Looks good.
We shot Another Year in 12 weeks, and that's all 4 seasons. Low-budget filmmaking, and this film had the lowest budget I've had for a very long time, is a tough mind-focusing operation. And only by having the kind of operation that we have, where everybody on both sides of the camera is pulling together and nobody's being a prima donna, can you do it. And this is the joy of this particular kind of British filmmaking. It's about growing older and looking at a rosy future for some characters, and in the case, for example, of Leslie's character Mary, looking into that black hole of the future, which is frightening, and of seeing her youth and maybe her looks disappearing and all that stuff. And it's about also about the passing of time. That's why it's called Another Year, really. It's about the cycling seasons, which is what we deal with in the film.
I came in my car, Jerry. Oh, God!
What's happened?
Oh, I'm so stupid. Why do I spoil everything? I wanted it to be a surprise.
You bought a car?
Yeah!
This particular way of working just does something for me. I just find it so exciting. And I know that I'm going to spend X number of months, and that for me it's going to be really challenging, and, you know, all my antennae are going to have to be on the go, and it's never, ever, ever, ever going to be boring.
For me, I mean, the adventure of the journey of making the film is a journey of discovery as to what the film is. I mean, you know, but from my point of view, I do what novelists and painters and others do, which is to find it by doing it. I do have the fear that, God, you know, what if this one's a disaster? But that's only what keeps me going, basically. If you don't navel gaze, but you actually think about the world out there, and are, as I think we are, motivated. If you're motivated to care about that world, then that's what drives the whole thing, really.
Joe, what am I going to do without you?
You'll be fine.
Can't you stay in the car just till we get to King's Cross?
We'll be all right, Mary.
Ken, what are you talking about? You don't even know London.
The thing about behaving, interacting with the real world, it applies as much in the set, in the house, in the garden, as it does out in the streets, because it's all real locations. And don't forget the preparatory work we do to arrive at the scenes takes on the actual physical and visceral and three-dimensional and atmospheric and spatial aspects of the actual environment. All we're talking about here is storytelling and make-believe and, you know, creating that illusion called a fiction and thinking of it in terms of real life in the real world, basically.
He was a good-looking man when he was young.
Was he?
Mm. He's got a good heart. Life's not always kind, is it?
No, it isn't, Jerry.
It's not about the process. It's about the filmmaking. The real job, having done the preparation and started the process, is that when we go on location, we make a film up. We don't prepare it all and then we know what we're doing. We actually really don't know what we're doing until we get to the end. It's only when we start to really distill down the action and refine it and script it through rehearsal and shoot it that the characters really come to the boil. Absolutely. And even before that, even though we might have been at it for months, they're still only potential, provisional, putative embryo characters.
I'm always excited at the thought of what are we going to come up with this time. You know, what kind of character is it going to be? I'm, in a way, I have the easier task, because I've only got to create this character with Mike. He's got to create characters with all the actors and then start to think about how he's going to pull it together and distill it down and make a film out of it.
If you ask me what it is, what's the turn on for me, I mean, the basic thing is making something up, creating a world, you know, and saying something with it and expressing what I feel about the world. But the actual experience of doing it is working with a lot of people in a very creative and enjoyable and stimulating and rich and unpredictable and very largely hilarious way. This is the magic of the movies, and that's all there is to it.